James Delacy here from Sweet Science of Fighting. This is a different one. We have Jake Gyllenhaal's workout for his role in Roadhouse. I have not watched Roadhouse yet. If you have, please don't spoil it for me. But just for the YouTube algorithm, just comment Roadhouse down in the comments and let me know if it's worth watching. I need to get on that. But it's close enough to competitive fighting that we're going to break this down anyway. So we're going to go into this. Again, nothing against actors, coaches, trainers, anything going on in here. It's just, again, my personal preferences, opinions, etc. Again, a snapshot in time, so I'm going to make inferences and assumptions based on what's going on here. And go into this, I'm going to assume, okay, actor getting ready for a role like this, probably the main goals are to get muscular and shredded, and probably just at least have some general function to be able to perform the stunts and things in the movie. So we're going to look into what's going on here. So starting off with the mobility drills. These sticks are correct. Someone's made a living who just created this thing called, I think it's called The Stick. This guy's made a living just of a stick. Sometimes I think I'm in the wrong industry. Okay. So the Proteus motion. So I have not used this myself, but it is similar. Let me just mute that. This is similar to many other machines that essentially track movement. So 1080 is another one. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but 1080 is probably the most similar. Essentially, it's tracking force, velocity, and power, usually, and you can just do it on essentially different planes of motion. So it ends up being a relatively good monitoring tool. Is it like something that's like you have to do, or is create special for combat sports? No, it's not like using this as the difference between someone who's going to be very good at boxing, MMA, whatever, compared to someone else. It's just another tool. It's a tool that can be used, and it gives us just a bit more data than the traditional strength training. It also adds different resistance, right? So you can resistance rotationally, forward and back, etc. So looks like doing some rotational work. Okay. Isometric and vertical. So these are all numbered. I'm assuming then it's all the same session. I have a feeling it's not the same session though. So, but we'll see. Isometric holds 30 seconds, then rest will do 3 sets. Strength and stamina at different joint angles. Rows. I guess that's just more for general shoulder health, it seems. Because I was going to say, like, if your number one goals are just to be big, muscular, shredded, I guess, and quote-unquote functional for these roles, it's probably not the exercise to do. Isometrics at short ranges of motion don't exactly elicit a very strong muscle building response, or even a very strong strength building response, especially in the holding positions here. There are other ways you would go about doing it, like just performing rows. That's pretty much it, really. Then we've got sled work for work capacity. Okay. For burning fat. Okay. I wonder who he's. Oh, damn. Then he's doing like the spider walks with the sled as well. Okay. Yep. And the ice bath. Whatevs. Show us the training. Okay. Safety bar squats. Okay. Let's start with safety bar squats. Good. Looks like another kabuki bar here. It's a kabuki transformer bar. Safety squat bars, again, easier on your shoulders and wrists and elbows and things if you can't, you don't have the mobility to have the bar on your back or on your front. It's just an all-around good piece of equipment, especially for combat athletes. If you've got niggles, shoulders, etc., get one of these. Now, in terms of exercise order, if we're going by what is said or what is shown in this video, it kind of doesn't really make sense. He's gone from, started with mobility stuff. I guess you could say did speed power based work with the Proteus motion, did some isometrics, but then did like work capacity exercises before going to the squat rack, which, you know, in terms of, if you just look at the basic hierarchy of exercise order, you would do any kind of work capacity conditioning stuff at the end, because if you go squat after doing a bunch of sleds, your legs are going to be gone. It becomes a little more risky when you're doing the squats, and you can't lift as much load, and the quality is not going to be as good. And you want the maximum stimulus doing something like this, because you're obviously looking to strengthen the legs and build some muscle in the legs too. So in terms of exercise order, that doesn't really make much sense. Then he's got wrist roller for the grip and the forearms. Good exercise to do. You can set that up with the band too if you don't have whatever that contraption is. It's a pretty cool contraption though. I want one of those. Solid. Okay, now we're into, I guess, carries with lunges. So sleds, squats, lunges with the offset load. So offset load here, essentially you're just challenging the anti-lateral flexion, so resisting bending side to side essentially. Well, more, I guess, work capacity stuff. Build agility, that's funny. I guess maybe that's just to, honestly, I don't even know why you'd even have that in there, to be honest. If your goal is to maximize strength and size and have some kind of work capacity, like having this in the middle of the session makes no sense. You're literally taking away from everything you're trying to achieve in the session, which is to build strength and muscle. Okay, now we're into some upper body pressing. After all of that, yeah, I mean, you could have it there. I think you would probably cut out a lot of the other stuff that's going on so you can maximize this. Again, doing the floor press as well, like, floor press makes, yeah, good for shoulder issues, yep. Unless maybe he has a shoulder issue, I don't know. But let's say he doesn't have a shoulder issue. It doesn't make any sense to floor press. Like, for a competitive fighter, like I've broken down previously with Sugar Sean, makes sense. He's kind of deep into his fight camp. He has a high technical load. You don't want to put extra stress on the shoulders. Perfect, floor press. Someone who's training for an acting gig and then needs to maximize chest, tricep, shoulder development, you're literally just doing partial range of motion. You're going to get the most benefit doing the full range of motion. Unless they're trying to target the triceps for whatever reason. But I'm assuming they're doing that because they want to develop the whole upper body. Anyways, on to the next. Is this the next one? Some kind of push-pulls. Okay, no, we're back. Okay, now we're into push-ups, weighted push-ups. Good exercise. Definitely worth doing. Okay, now we're into more rows. So single arm row with the rotation and then pushing up with the dumbbell. It's a really nice one for, it kind of doubles up for you. Gives you that thoracic rotation too. I know a lot of cricketers use this. Obviously cricket's a highly rotational sport. Definitely worth trying and bringing to your program if it fits. Okay, looks like we've got some cable push. I mean, he's already done a shit ton of rotation in this session. There's honestly, there's really no point in having this exercise in there. It's not going to give you the strength, hypertrophy stimulus you want. You've already done rotation in the beginning with the Proteus. That's assuming this is all one session, because it's probably not one session. And now sprints on the Versa Climber. But then you already did work capacity earlier in the session, so you're just doubling up again. Okay. Was that the whole session? What else? Yeah, that was the whole session. Yeah, so if you're trying to maximize strength and size development, you would cut out all that work capacity and other random stuff. You would go from where he started, you'd do the mobility stuff for the stick, you would do the Proteus stuff for the speed power work. You'd skip the sled stuff, you'd go straight to the safety bar squat, and then, what was after safety? I think you had lunges. Sure, you can do the lunges after that. The grip work you would not do here in the middle of the session. The grip work you would do at the end because you've got upper body work to do. So you do the lunges, and then you go into your, it wouldn't be a floor press, you do some kind of bench press. Then you can do push-up finishes, sure, if you really need to. Then you'll do your rows, but typically you do proper rows, not just those one-arm ones. Hey, they even got an iron neck on there too. It's definitely worth doing. Then you'll do your rows, and then you would finish with this grip work, maybe with the sleds, maybe, if you needed it. And that would be a better exercise order that would make sense and flow. And then potentially the sprints at the end instead of the sleds, depending. Obviously, it depends on all different things. But that would make more sense in terms of a training structure than how it was presented here. Again, I don't know if that was the exact order they did everything, or if that was even one session, or if it was multiple sessions. It was honestly probably multiple sessions, and they just pieced it together. But again, I'm just assuming things. So make sure you check out the MMA Strength Conditioning Blueprint down in the description and the first comment, and I'll see you in the next video.